Hey you guys, it looks like it's a goer. Last weekend of September 2024 should be the pilot of the Falconers gathering right in central England. It couldn't be in a better position for anyone to come to, right in the centre of England. What's it all about? What's the point? What can you expect? Well, first off, this isn't some competitive thing. We've really tried to find a date where there's no other Falconry related gatherings on, and we're not trying to compete with Charlie Heap and all the things he does. Nothing like that. Nothing even on that scale, I don't think. It's a gathering of like-minded people, literally stealing someone else's slogan for sure. Sorry, Charlie, I think you've used it, but it's been used many times. For Falconers, by Falconers. We're in Holdenby House grounds. It is in Northamptonshire, and you know what? It's the neighbouring stately home to Althorpe House. Now, if you're as old as me, you remember the very first Falconry fair held at Althorpe House. It was there for a while. It even came back in relative, maybe the last 12 or 15 years ago. It did return there for a time. Going back, this is what you got at the Falconers Fair. You got stands and stands, rows of vendors selling falconry equipment. They only had a magazine that came out twice a year, 4 times a year maybe, where they could advertise their wares, and you'd fill out a form that you'd tear out the magazine and you'd send it off to your glove maker, and they'd send you back a catalogue, and then you'd send off another form ordering the stuff you want for your falconry equipment with a cheque, and they'd send it back. You paid a bit of money to go in. But these guys had all their kit. You could try on gloves and the falconry equipment. You could look and compare. And you might speak, it was about 10 quid, I think, to get in back in the day. And you'd get to take away bargains. You'd go with £100, sounds nothing now. And you'd get all your kit for the year. You'd meet like-minded people. You'd watch displays. All that's gone. It's gone because of corporate greed. All the game fairs. Some of these game fairs now are 3,000 quid. For a massive marquee with electric for a vendor. And even if you're a small time and you just want a little marquee with just something bespoke equipment, it's hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of pounds. And to go in some of these game fairs now, I don't know, 30, 40 quid plus, it's ridiculous. Because they can't get the vendors because they're charging too much. And to be honest, all the good falconry makers, they've got their own websites. They advertise on social media. They haven't got time necessarily to spend a lot of money on kit they can sell anyway. It's all changed. They don't want to spend those big bucks when they can sell stuff on their own website. When you go to the Spanish Sky Trials, no one knows it's there. It's just for falconers. You're in a farmer's field. There's a big marquee with a beer tent. A few people selling some bespoke stuff, and you're watching the falconry. Now, we can't do that here. Hopefully you've all had a nice time. You're going to have a nice time at Voley. But we can't have bad game and have proper sky trials for the falcons. It's illegal here to let game go and fling it in the air. It works really well in Spain, and I really want to get back there and mix with those people again. But here, what can we do? We can have a gathering of falconers where no one's getting ripped off. Money's coming into the estate. Everyone's happy. Everyone's having a nice time. This is about you voting with your feet, and then we'll do it again next year. Let me tell you some facts and figures. It's going to be our normal rate to come into the grounds and the centre at the weekend. No add-on, £9.50 an adult. Peanuts, 2 pints, and you can come in. We're trying to do it so that we can have some people here selling their wares. At the moment, there's a limited space. I'm going to leave some numbers at the bottom or in the description or at the end of this video. If you're selling falconry kit and you want to be part of this, email the email address, speak to the estate office, register your interest, and then when we've got prices finalised. But if you bring your own marquee, an average 3x3 metre gazebo, you're going to be charged 50 quid, just a token fee. You're probably not going to have any electric unless you bring your own. We can get marquees in. At the minute, we can offer them at something like 250 quid each, professionally set up. Again, you're paying 50 quid to come on whatever those marquees cost us. At the minute, we can't get them much less than 200 quid, but we'll shop around. So there is space for vendors. Regardless of the price, if you're interested, email in, guys. If you want to come and bring some stuff, we want as many vendors as possible selling Falconry kit, because that keeps everybody happy. That's what these big game fairs forget. It's the sellers of the kit that often are the backbone of these country fairs, Falconry fairs for sure. But we have got limited space. This is year one. It's not about being commercialised. It's about getting as many of you guys together in one place, having a good old crack. So what are we going to offer? Hopefully we're going to have people selling stuff. We're going to have back-to-back talks and displays, falconry displays, bird of prey displays. The public are on site as well. It's our last open weekend of the year at weekends. It's open to everyone. We might fly things like vultures. Yes, I've got no interest to hardened falconers, but I'd like to think anyone with a falconry background loves and is interested in all kinds of birds of prey. We're going to have some talks. I'm not how sure we're going to do them, but this is one thing I'm really going to try and do. I'm going to try and get a couple of your favourite English, local British YouTubers in. Really want to get Pete, Freebird of Reason, for those people really thinking about starting out with a Harris hawk, because his journey with a Harris hawk really gives you an insight in someone flying a hawk every single day of the season, and that bond just with a hawk, and he is the nicest guy. Hopefully we'll get Dan Mercer down as well, Mercer Falconry, his YouTube channel. And what I want to do, if we can get 3 or 4 of us, we'll have a bit of a questions and answers. You can come and take the that's I swear. You can take the Mickey if you like. I don't care what you ask, but you can come and ask some questions. I think that'd be a bit of fun, like a panel of YouTubers, and you guys that are far better than us can come and ask us anything about the channel or what we do. I think that'd be good, and a good bit of banter. So that's the whole ethos of it, is just falconers together. Why the date? There's no date that suits everyone. Nearly all the year, it's no good to anyone that breeds birds. They have to be on site all the time, so they can't get to hardly any shows. People like myself, people like David Rampling, anyone with a falconry venue or a falconry centre or a birds of prey centre, we don't go anywhere at the weekends because we're all actually open as well. It's the end of the season for many. It's the end of the breeding season's over. Now you're going to say, yeah, but I'm going to be up in Scotland flying me falcons at grouse. You probably are. I can't help everyone, and you have to just appreciate that. Most of us, like myself, hopefully, that are training and working with new birds, yeah, we're going to be out hunting by then, or round about then. You either have a day off of that or you don't, but try your best to fit it in your diary the last weekend of September 2024. It's the best I can come up with to make it available for most people and not clash with anyone else's falconry do either. There's no point. Entertainment all day long. We're going to be open 11 till 4 because that's our standard time. We're going to be pretty much kicking off maybe at 12, and we'll try and have back-to-back stuff going on for you all day long. Beer tent. There won't be a beer tent, but there certainly should be people selling beer for those that want it. I'm looking for a pleasant audience. I don't want any fighting. This is someone's house and grounds and garden. It's not a trust house. This stately home is lived in. If you mess it up or you don't come, it won't happen again. It's as simple as that. So we've got to have some rules, and that's going to niggle someone because it doesn't suit everyone. So rules that are absolutely you can't change is, if you bring a dog or a bird of prey or food, you have to keep those in our car park field. It's large, it's got a view. We can have no birds of prey brought into the centre. We can have absolutely no dogs of any kind brought into the centre and the grounds. Dogs, food, your own hawks have to stay in the car park field. So there you decide, because if it's a hot day, and September can be, you decide, is that a sensible thing to do? You can't have birds necessarily bowed out or blocked out unless you're standing on top of them, because we're going to have birds, if it's windy, up in the air. Birds up in the air that will take birds blocked out off the blocks because they're all predators and they'll be able to see them. Although at low level, the car park field is way out of sight of the falconry centre. A bird few hundred feet in the air that preys on other birds is going to take them out. What do I say? Don't bring your birds and your dogs, if I'm honest with you. I know that's going to make it hard for some, maybe impossible. Some of you might want to man your birds back at the car park field and put them in boxes. That's fine if it's cold and the sun's not out. I'm kind of hoping it's going to be warm and the sun is out. Food. We have got our own tea room. I don't own it. The house don't own it. We've got a lady that does the best cakes, homemade cakes and food on site, open all day. We're going to gauge by the feedback you give me. Are we going to have... I say, well, you're going to want, I know you're going to want some beer. Are we going to have other food venues? That just depends on numbers. So if you all turn up and everyone says this idea is rubbish and then you all turn up, you're going to have a long queue for cake, put it that way. This isn't about me, it's about you. This whole idea is causing me time and stress. It's about you guys trying to do something for the Falconry community that's not ripping the bum out of you guys. It is providing, hopefully, a mega fun weekend where we can all get together. What else can I tell you? The venue itself is Holdenby House. That's NN6 in Northampton. If you get off at junction 15 of the M1, junction 15A, 15 minutes away. If you get off at junction 18 of the M1, I don't know, 20 minutes away. It's bang in the middle of England. So the venue itself, just like the original venue at Althorpe, it is perfectly placed for sure. There's toilets on site. Remember, we're putting our feelers out. I don't know what's going to happen, who's going to come. First year, there's going to be niggles, I'm sure. I'm hoping the niggles are going to be, Christ alive, we didn't expect that many people. Comes to the actual Falconry Centre and the flying area. The Falconry Centre is quite small. We've got a British Wildlife Centre with tame foxes and hedgehogs and things in there. The Falconry Centre itself isn't an all-day look around, but you've got the gardens open of this historic house. The house is not open, but the grounds are quite extensive grounds. But we've got a fantastic flying lawn. We're not having an arena. There's going to be no roping off because you're not bringing your dogs, remember, and your little kids are going to be well behaved. We're just open at the weekend like we do every weekend of the summer, except we're going to make it about falconry. We've got a lovely flying lawn, and if the wind's in the right direction and there is a breeze, you're going to get some good birds flying, certainly from the team and the staff here. But we're going to also look at guests coming. No one's getting paid because we're doing this at rock bottom price for everyone. But I reckon I know enough of you guys that some of you are going to turn up and you're going to fly something special for us here. It's going to go like that. It's a 2-day event and we really want it back to back. If you've got a bird that sits down or buggers off, don't come and bring that bird. It'll hold up the rest of the day or get eaten by something. But if you've got a bird that's something special, you fly a really special falcon to a lure, anything. You've got a bird that soars anywhere but comes back, get in touch. But it's got to be proper pucker, bomb-proof display bird for sure. There's going to be falconry talks about falconry. There's going to be falconry. I hope my bird will be here because it's going to live here. Sorry you can't bring yours, but obviously ours are here. Hopefully we'll have something to talk about there. So I'm going to put some bullet points in at the end of this video. It's a load of waffle, partly because I'm quite excited that it looks like, after my previous video, hopefully you watched that one, it's a much more streamlined, fetal thing compared to the original plan. But that could take off if this works out. But for sure, I'm going to bullet point at the end some of the facts and figures you need to know. If you want to sell your stuff, get in touch for sure. But there is one thing that I can't facilitate. So it's a 2-day thing. It's 11 till 4. The thing I can't facilitate is camping. Oh, I know it's going to be late, could be even cold, but I know a lot of you like to get pissed, have a good old chin wag around a campfire about your hunting stories. I understand that. I can't facilitate that, but you're more than welcome, gangs of you, to look at local campsites, local hotels. Maybe it's something I can publish, excuse me, sort of going forward. This isn't going to be the last video. I'm going to set up a Facebook page so we can all tie together on this. But for sure, I can't facilitate camping on site, certainly not this time. So if you do want to camp and you do want to kind of have that catch up and that few beers in the evening, you're going to have to organise that yourself. But I will try and help you out with some venues nearby for sure. That's it for now. The date looks like it's set in stone. It's the last weekend of September 2024. If you want to be a vendor, get yourself on that email Kerry find out what the crack is when it comes to marquees, what we can have available and how much they're going to be. Or let her know you're going to bring your own. We need numbers on that. So when we get it priced and you're a vendor, you're going to be asked to pay up front because we have got limited space. Now, if it doesn't go ahead, you'll get your money back, of course. But it's no good people saying they're going to come and they don't turn up, and we've turned people away because we only have limited space. I'll bullet point it now. I hope this means something to you. Let's make it happen.